This is Mainstream Metaphysics with your host, Nick Newmont.
Well, hey there. Welcome to Mainstream Metaphysics. It is Tuesday, February 13th, the night before Valentine's Day. Ooh. Oh, look who's with me tonight.
Hi.
Lovely and talented Audrey Newmont, sitting in here on Mainstream Metaphysics because it is a Merlin night. And Merlin can't tell time and monitor everything, and Ed throwing paper wads at Merlin still doesn't take me out of trance. So, as always, behind the scenes, Ed Hunt. This show wouldn't happen here at Conejo Valley Talk Radio without him.
Yay,
we are
Ed.
appreciative, and Mainstream Metaphysics is broadcast on the Newmont Consciousness Network. So that big mouthful, all of that. So I wasn't on last week. I took a week off to heal a sore throat. And in the days of, we're so busy. We talk a lot.
We do.
And,
we talk too much. In fact, when we get home, we hardly talk at all.
Yeah. More. Or you don't have to talk. Use sign language. It's a symbol for more. And anyway, it's good to be back. And by the way, my guest next week, February 20th, is Selena Culp. Now, here's the funny thing, okay? Next week on the show, we're going to be talking about prevention and doTERRA oils and all that, and how to. We were supposed to do that last week, and I got sick.
And he was literally getting better using all of those remedies.
Yes, so now we have the evidence of everything I used. So it's sort of a prequel and a sequel to. And no, I wasn't like deathly ill or anything like that. I just needed a couple days off to unwind and embroiled fully in softball season. So I have all that going on. So,
Coach Nick.
Hi, Becca, wherever you are. Yes, everyone's excited to hear from Merlin. So, and tomorrow night is a double header because I'm on your show.
Yes, he is.
And because it's Valentine's Day, we're going to do the show remotely, not from the studio. And it'll go as long as we want it to go.
Yeah, so it'll start at 6. We'll probably go till 7 because our reservation isn't until whatever time. And we're going to Fogo de Chao, where our daughter works as a server. And we're going to be, in light of Valentine's Day, we're going to be talking about love. We're going to be talking about what makes it work. You know, we have our own relationship, but then I work with a lot of couples, as does he, and we all have similar issues. And so we're going to bring up some of the similarities that people have, some of the challenges, and the really good techniques, the tools that we employ to make it work.
Well, one of the things that we should look at. Hi, Heather. Thanks for watching.
Hey, Heather.
Now they're a great couple, Heather and Jason Michael.
Yeah.
Here's something for tomorrow night, okay? Because like Jason and Mike, Jason, Heather, and us, we do align in that fifth dimensional consciousness. What happens to a couple that's been around together and one is not having fifth dimensional consciousness?
Oh, I can tell you.
All right, save it for tomorrow night. Save it for the show.
People that I work with, that's part of the the challenge.
Right,
You
exactly.
know, if one of them's elevating and the other one's staying, here and not doing the same kind of a process, it can look rather tricky.
By the way, here's a private announcement. Heather, one of your avocado smash cards is at our house. It's under the dining room table.
That was such a fun game.
If you don't know the game Avocado Smash, it's a box game. It's fun. It's hysterical. Oh, my God. Lots of laughs.
And it's one of those things you don't have to really get embroiled in, anything. No. It's just a lot of laughing going on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now this coming Saturday, we have one announcement. And so this coming Sunday, February 18th, is the psychic panel.
Sunday, we have the psychic panel. And I'm just going to say, if you have not signed up, either way, in person or on Zoom, this is one of those events that people love. So you have four, count them, four amazing psychics.
Four.
Four. You have Nick, you have Emmy, who channels We. Then you have Kim Falcon, who is like another version of Nick. And then you have Sheena Metal, who is yet another version. She does energy work. She's got her talk radio show that she's had for a long time. She's really amazing. So you have four really talented psychics, and you get to ask all four of them your question. I mean, hello.
And then after 2:00, we break off into private rooms. And if you'd like a private session with any of us, you can schedule that.
Yeah.
And there are some seats available, but it is filling up if you'd like to attend. So
make sure that you're booking like ASAP.
And the best way to, if you want more information, is to call the office line directly at 818-865-8770 and go through me, and then I can give you the Venmo if you wish to buy a ticket in advance. And also you can Zoom too. It's $45 on Zoom. So either way, I mean, and people.
And you can ask questions from Zoom too.
Yeah, it's live.
Can't guarantee that we're going to get to every question, but the interesting thing is they end up. People have very similar kind of things that they ask sometimes. So a lot of times you can get, even if it's not the same question that you have, there's a lot of insight. There's a lot of wisdom going on, and you're catching that divine, that divine information. It's always really, really good. So we highly recommend that one. It's a good day.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun for us too.
I'll tell you one of the fun things for me. Like last time, there was quite a few of my clients in the audience, and they ask a question, and then, they're getting their answer, and I'm just sitting back going, I already told them that.
Yeah.
Not on all things, but on some of the things. So, it's like if you didn't get it the first time around, you'll get it from them, and it's a great way to shift up to the next level.
Well, one thing, about you, Audrey, is that you don't advertise yourself as psychic or anything like that. You don't do readings, but you are very tuned in, and you've become more and more tuned in as time goes on. So
there's times
don't sell yourself short.
I'm not selling myself short, but I don't promote that. But in sessions, sometimes my clients can tell when I start channeling. It's obvious, but it's not like they do it. It's more of a understanding, and then I get this hit. And sometimes I'll look at my client and be like, oh, you're not going to want to hear this, and they'll be like, no, this is what I really want to hear.
Well, the other day, Friday, I guess it was, I was doing a reading for a client that I haven't seen in a while, and it's 1-something in the afternoon, and I'm saying to her about especially the Jupiter-Uranus opposition that's coming up in mid-April and how that was going to affect her chart. And I said, well, it's an earthquake. And moments later, Southern California started rocking. So
look what you did.
I guess from now on, I should just say it's bags of gold falling from the sky. Right? I'm telling you, moments later, whoa, here we go.
And it was a big earthquake, that one.
Yeah, well, it was 4.6, and just, near the beach in Malibu, near Decker Canyon. But the reason why we felt it so much, it was only 5.5 miles down. A lot of times earthquakes are 19, 20 miles, but 5.5 miles down is not very far.
Yeah, it was a rocker.
Yeah. But no damage. Everyone's good. So, anyway, so I want to back up for a moment. Okay, so this past Sunday was the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And for those of you that have been following me for a long time know that on the prior show or somewhere on Facebook, I'll put up a bunch of predictions. Okay.
Actually, we've done interviews with it.
Yes. Yeah, extensive. And I didn't this time. And I did some privately, which I shared with my coaching friends and with Audrey, and and I was right about some things and not about others. But here's the bottom line. And this is the more important part. So the part that I said that was absolutely right was take Kansas City plus the points. And the reason I said that is shenanigans. Okay?
I love that word.
And what does that mean? Well, it means that there's a lot of shenanigans that go on in the game, in officiating, and all this stuff. And it's not, your grandfather's National Football League anymore. And and I've watched a lot of changes through the years. And yes, there's been a lot of questions through the years as to whether how accurate the officials have been and stuff like that, and why they call that not this time. But it gets to a point where the manipulation becomes very evident.
Right.
And I recorded the game, and what I'm about to say is actually out there to see. So when the game, and I also said that whoever holds the ball, and I'm at Kansas City at the end of the game, whoever has the ball last is going to win the game, right? Remember I said that? So with 1:38 left in the game, Kansas City has the ball, and Mahomes runs for about 2 yards. So it goes from 1st and 10 to 2nd and 8. All of a sudden, it's 1st and 10 again.
Actually, it was 2nd and 7.
All right, 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's 1st down and 10 to go. Okay,
Yeah,
and it didn't get corrected, and then in a little bit, the announcer said something. So this is what I'm talking about. There are shenanigans that are going on, and when it comes to how the points played out, I thought there would be 47 points were scored. I thought it would be a little bit higher, and there were things that happened like San Francisco fumbling the ball whenever it looked like they were going to score a touchdown. San Francisco's kicker misses the extra point and the stuff like that. And so I've stepped back from the fun of predicting Super Bowl outcomes, because it's like trying to predict, scripted television.
Right.
That's what it's become. And you could say that you're watching your favorite soap opera, nighttime drama, or whatever, like back in the days. Like when we used to watch Dallas and shows like that. You could guess that, who's going to end up with who's going to shoot who, and all that kind of stuff. That's scripted, and unfortunately, we have gotten to that point. Like for instance, in professional wrestling, the WWE, it's not fake, but it's scripted.
Mm-hmm.
They do get hurt. That really does happen. But it's a script, and now we're getting to that point, and it makes it very challenging to be. I'm certainly not the intense sports fan that I was years ago.
You don't even watch basketball hardly anymore.
No,
I used to watch a lot of sports, and over the years, with everything that we're looking at, it takes a lot of the fun out of it. It's not that authentic competition anymore. It's a whole nother ball game,
as it were. Pun intended.
And I think the other part of it is there's a lot of money involved in it. And there's another part to it where there's manipulation involved with it. You know that this was the most watched show, I think, ever, that Super Bowl?
Yes, it was.
And so they want people to watch for all the celebrity action, which I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah.
They want people to watch for all the commercial action, which there's a lot of manipulation there. I mean, it's a lot of, they suck you in.
Well, and that's why certain things happen. Like, it was a close game, and it was a good game to watch, and what happened, but they don't want, the sponsors in the league don't want those games that are over at halftime, when it's like 35-7 at halftime, because people turn their TV off.
Right.
And when they lose viewership, then they're not the TV ads that are not seen. So anyway,
part of the let's keep the game rolling.
Yeah, exactly. And this one went to overtime. In 58 Super Bowls, it's the second Super Bowl that went to overtime.
Really? I didn't even know that part.
Yeah.
Poor Nick. I had our granddaughter over. That scene where the points got changed in that instant, it went to first down. Dakota was carried on, and he missed it. I had to tell you the next day.
Yeah. But I recorded, and I'm going to go look at that sequence again. But a lot of people caught that. So anyway, that's why I don't publicly make those predictions anymore, and it used to be a lot of fun.
Hi, Gloria.
And there are some pretty wild things that I have predicted in the past that were like so dead accurate. It was insane.
Oh yeah, it used to be where you could predict it and it would be spot on. Yeah, it's not like that anymore. Karen Dusenberry's in the house today too.
She is.
I'd like to say hi to everybody.
Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. So anyway, anything else to say? Okay, good night. No.
You know, it's for me. I've watched the game with you all these years, and I've watched the basketball and stuff. And it used to be a lot of fun years ago watching all this stuff. And it's kind of like the Oscars and all those award shows for me at this point too. It's like there's a lot of the joy and the fun of it that's kind of like taken out. It's just not the same thing. You know, Nick and I are over 60, and we've watched this for so many years, and we can see how it used to be and how it is now. And there is a large discrepancy of what has happened. And I would say even in like the past 5 years, there's a lot of change that's gone on with all these things. And so when you're used to watching it and it was a lot more authentic, it changes it, you know?
Yeah, it does. I mean, even I would tell you this, there are times as a high school coach, I've watched umpires because they didn't like a coach, you know, make bad calls.
I know you have. I've watched that too.
And it's like, really, you know, in high school sports, kids, you're going to manipulate outcomes.
Yeah.
You know, but there is a human factor in all of this, which is why, for the most part, in a lot of sports, they have instant replay now to review what happened.
Right. Well, it's interesting. Does the sports authority, whoever that is, when you looking at what happened on that blatant one where it went to 1 again and it didn't finish from the second down, do they do anything about that? I mean,
well, I haven't heard anything about that, but of course I haven't, you know, followed up on it.
I'd just be very curious because that determines the game on a level.
But in the playoffs, or, you know, when Detroit played Dallas and the referees blew the call when the Detroit lineman announced that he was an eligible receiver and the referees mixed it up, those referees were not allowed to, it wasn't in the playoffs yet. It was toward the end of the season. That referee team was not allowed to referee in the playoffs because they blew that.
Well,
you know, so they do get demoted, so to speak.
Still, it'd be nice for, you know, the only thing that changes all of this is when people really step up and say, you know, this isn't okay. You know, when the majority of people say, you know, we're going to not be watching it if this kind of stuff continues. That's the only way that will change.
Well, exactly.
So speak up, people. Hi, Carla is in the house too.
Yeah. Hi.
Anything else we need to discuss before we're chatting with Merlin?
I don't think so. We have a lot more events. We're not going to bring that up tonight, but we have a lot more events coming up at the center and a lot of fun stuff.
Oh, we got good stuff going on. Yeah, a lot of interesting things.
Catherine Glass and her friends are coming March 8th and 10th. I think, that's the date. So lots of stuff. And I'll be holding a lot more as we get into later spring and summer, a lot more the metaphysical healing classes. The Saturday workshops are.
And we have that focus on success coming up. Speaking of a psychic, you know, Catherine's got that workshop coming up. She has a few things that are coming up at our area. You know, she comes from out of town. So she's got 2 people that are coming with her on that Friday night. And I'm telling you, that's going to be a massive event as well. It's on March 3rd. And they're all 3 psychic mediums. Again, if you have any questions, you're looking for guidance, you're looking to chat with your loved ones who are on the other side, that's your night. And then on that Sunday, they've got an event in Simi Valley on that Saturday. And then again on Sunday, they'll be back in our place. And if you are an aspiring channel, if you're looking to dive deeper into your metaphysical abilities, because everybody's got them, on that day, they're doing a whole full-out workshop. So it's the 3 of them doing a workshop with you to help you hone in on your abilities. I think it's going to be amazing.
Yes, it's March 8th.
Yeah, so March 8th is that Friday night, and then the 10th is when they're coming back for that full-day workshop. So I highly recommend checking into both of those. And you go to newmontcenter.net for all of our information on all that. We have the calendar page.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So Nick's going to channel Merlin now. And if you all have any questions, I can see your comments right over there. And if you have any questions, ask and I'll read them out to him. So you can ask anything about anything. So if you have any questions, get them ready and Then you're going to...
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna talk about something else for a moment.
Okay.
And so, I've been talking about this for months now, and when Jupiter and Uranus align together in April, around April 20th, 21st, this is a very benevolent alignment, and reflect upon, from April of, in fact, I actually knew the date, the end of April of 2019, when myself and many astrologers were talking about the Capricorn alignments that would come in January of 2020 and how rough 2020 was going to be. And unfortunately, we were right. So the reason I bring it like that is that because, and there is something else I want to bring up, because this is about that. I just remembered a mental note that I have. So with the Jupiter-Uranus alignment, which happens every 14 years, there is a liberating feeling from this. And because Jupiter is expansiveness and benevolence, and Uranus is our freedom-seeking factor, and it's epiphanies and revelations, this is going to be that spark that people are looking for things to be revealed in the year ahead. And this is because it's in the sign of Taurus. It's going to have an extremely positive effect on money and possessions and finances. And it's also going to be a very profound shift in what's referred to as part of Taurus as intrinsic values, really looking at what's important, what's necessary, and what's essential. So we're really going to have some profound things that happen that are going to be eye-opening, beginning with that. And it's not just on April 21st, because not everything happens in one day, but that alignment, is together for a number of days. So this is the beginning of something extremely positive.
So will it start applying a little earlier than that, and then
always,
go in?
Always. So we always look at, when planets are about to aspect each other, 3 degrees in, okay? So once Jupiter is within 3 degrees of Uranus, which will be days ahead of that, okay? Because Uranus will hardly be moving, because it moves a lot slower compared to Jupiter's speed, so that even a week ahead of that, we'll start to feel that.
It's like around the 14th.
Sense. And, and the other thing that we have to look at is that, we're in the heart in this country of presidential primaries, so that's going to reveal a lot with that. And the other thing is that over 200 countries in the world are having major elections this year, which is the most in the history of the world.
Is it really?
Yes. So this is a big deal. This is no accident, with Jupiter ruling the 9th house, which is spirituality and wisdom and higher learning, not just growth, luck, and money and expansionism.
Well, when you're looking at money, the thing with all those BRICS nations, that is a very, very big deal.
Yeah,
and
there's
that
a lot.
is definitely having an impact on our financial system, period. It's amazing.
Right. And this is going to sort of break that dam.
Wow.
Okay. So people do have a lot to look forward to. The other thing I want to talk about, which parlays into a lot of things that you get into, Audrey, and this is something that I was thinking about today to bring up. Part of this reveal that we're looking at, and a lot of people are looking for this, is to heal the polarization that's been growing and creating tension. So when we have something that needs to be revealed, it means that it's underground, okay? It's hiding there, all right? And so there's a lot of things that we know that are not being revealed and being kept from people. We know that. However, then you go this direction, and then you've got events that are being looked at and called upon, and the polarization is the truth isn't being told, and as this side wants the truth revealed, then we have the accusations of conspiracy theory, okay? So the stronger, hi Joe Merrick, as this is like this, sorry to like, as this polarization continues, they tug on each other creating more and more tension because this side wants to hide, okay, and this side wants to reveal. And so we have this untruth or hidden truth over here and pressure to reveal truth, but it's being counteracted by saying there's no way that could be true. That's a conspiracy. So, and that's why that kind of energy, especially with Uranus and Jupiter, is so profound right now that these opposing sides, pulling on each other. And so what's going to happen is like a bungee, that is going to snap, and that snap is going to begin in April. And
I'm very excited about this.
and so, but that's why if you wonder why one side is pulling so hard and the other side is pulling so hard, is because they're trying to counteract. All right,
well,
and there is no meeting in the middle.
Yeah. So what do we do with all of that? You just step back and literally pay attention. Just look at things that are happening. You don't go into fear. You stay calm. You make sure that your T's are crossed, your I's are dotted, and you're prepared, and you just keep holding in the highest all of this that it's getting revealed, that the best and highest is happening for all of humanity.
Right.
That's the bottom line. And as it all gets revealed, it is the best for all of humanity, because when people are saying it's a bunch of conspiracy theories, I've been digging for 4 years now, and a lot of these conspiracy theories have proved to be true. And it just is what it is. So there's no judgment on it. It just is what it is.
Right.
So you stay out of the judgment and you have compassion. And again, you keep in the highest with all of it. That is one of the key elements to all of this. And I bet you Merlin's going to talk about this too.
He may. So anyway, quoting Jack Nicholson from A Few Good Men, him saying that you can't handle the truth. Well, there are people that will have a hard time with the truth, and there's people that will welcome the truth. And I think we're going to start to find out what truth really is, what's really going on.
Yeah.
So that's why I wouldn't just take a moment and explain that.
Thank you.
Why everything is so polarized at the moment. And
it's really good to know.
Where it's shifting. And also keep in mind that all planets are in direct motion until April Fool's Day. So if you're working on a project, you need to move forward, oh man, pedal to the metal right now.
I'm calling my editor tomorrow and saying, you're just going to do it now.
Yep. Yeah, because there's nothing in our way except there's going to be minor planetary anomalies, or how your own personal chart is affected. Maybe a major planet is squaring or opposing one of your planets.
Like Perils of Pauline last week.
Yeah.
Catherine.
Well, and when you go back a couple weeks ago and our clients were just really over the top, and we're not the only ones. Our good friend Nancy Sachs, Dr. Sachs, was telling me the other day that people are just bouncing off the walls right now.
Yeah, because there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of high emotions, and when we're not dealing with those high emotions, when I say high emotions, it's anxiety is big, anger is really big. There's a lot of sadness going on. And when we're not dealing with those emotions and we want to suppress them, they don't go anywhere. They're still creative. And I think that's one of the things that I see that people are dealing with the most is suppressing those emotions. We're going to talk about this a little bit more tomorrow night.
Sure. One of the phrases that I've come up with in the last couple of months, looking at the chaos, is somebody's kicked the anthill.
Yeah.
And all the ants are scattering everywhere.
And they're red ants.
Jeez.
They're little angry ants.
Well, when you say that, that's a little too real for me, because when we play a tournament in the certain fields in Simi Valley, which we do play in March 16th, they do have red ants there.
Oh.
So
Whoops.
we have to be careful. We can't just set our equipment down. We have to hang everything up.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
You need to put some of that doTERRA stuff on you so they don't want to play with you.
Yes, red ants. No red ants, please.
doTERRA has this Terra Shield stuff that keeps the bugs off. They do.
I'm not going to kick the anthill in Simi
No,
Valley. All
no.
right. Okay. So anyway, we're time now.
Jennifer, put your question in the comments and I can see it and I can ask him for you.
Yep. And I'm going to disappear. Anyway, I will see you after Merlin. Enjoy. And we'll see what happens.
So while you're going in, I'll chat for a second.
And please remember, between you and Ed, to watch the clock.
That's your job, Ed.
Yeah. Make sure, Ed, that you let her know when it's about 5 till.
All right.
Because otherwise Audrey gets entranced by Merlin and it'll be 7:30 and we're still going.
Still be chatting away.
And that did happen. Remember, it did happen with Becca a few weeks ago.
Right.
Instead, everybody loves Raymond. Everybody loves Merlin.
Lisa Allen in the house.
Hi, Lisa. Okay, I'm going to disappear.
So just so you all know, as he's going under and going in, this, I haven't been with Nick for over 24 years now, and this is not Nick. There's a lot of things that he'll say that it's not him at all. And so if you're ever doubting this, I'm telling you, it's like, this is our friend Merlin. And it's really, I think, a very big blessing to have his wisdom and his insight, his knowledge. So it's a great time to ask questions after he gives us whatever it is that he would like to share.
Greetings, dear ones.
Hello, Merlin.
Good to be with you.
Good to be with you, too.
And there are others amongst us.
Yes. They're in the box.
Quite inquisitive they are.
Mm-hmm.
Within the populace, there is a certain amount of what you, dear one, may refer to as fear, but is more of what mankind rationalizes as uncertainty. And uncertainty paralyzes one to the point of not making decisions. And mankind, the good people that are about, must avoid stagnation. It is important to keep moving forward with your life. You, dear one, love to use the word intention. And it is important to be intent, for with intention one formulates a plan. And humans at this time are feeling that there is not much use in planning, for the plans do not work out, or there are forces around them that have a tendency to foil those plans, you understand.
Mm-hmm.
And as the universe is benevolent, it is not so much about other humans who foil your plans. It is the universe adjusting your posture so you may set intentions that are in alignment with divine will. When you humans, are in those big metal birds, the people who navigate them help you with a smoother journey by making adjustments to where the bird is in the skies.
Mm-hmm.
For humans do not like a bumpy ride. You, in accordance with the universe, have the luxury of being adjusted by divine powers to avoid disasters. Do you understand?
Yes.
Dear ones, if there was not benevolent forces around you, with you all the time, you would experience events that were catastrophic due to circumstances that are being planned by those who mean harm. But the universe, in its divine wisdom, sees this and continues to navigate
and avoid circumstances that are not in your best interest. So when you recognize in your life the feeling that you have been told no, it is because that is not in your best interest. You are being moved into a path that will be of your greater value and better outcome, you see.
Mm-hmm.
It can make humans at times feel like they are the pieces of what you call a chessboard. But you are not being manipulated by the great powers of light. You are being adjusted to avoid disasters, you see.
I like that.
There is much more at work than you will ever know within the realm of your human consciousness. You have free will and choice in everything you do. You can say yes, and you can say no. And that is part of your reward or your plight, you see.
Mm-hmm.
But you are given opportunities for advancement and successes.
Mm-hmm.
You simply must have your eyes open to these events, using your mind to say yes to the improbable, you see. Mankind, as he evolves in consciousness, must open his mind to possibilities that are not connected to the immediate reality, you see.
Mm-hmm.
You can move yourself, whether it's in a relationship that is desired or an occupation that creates more abundance. You do not have to move in a linear fashion as if you are climbing a ladder. But mankind believes in linear because of his enslavement to time. Do you understand?
Yes.
And you have the ability to circumvent this linear imprisonment and move from what you believe is small or not good enough into something more grand that satisfies you. Mankind, for some reason, tends to linger in dissatisfaction and loves to tell everyone about it, how unhappy he is. But you do not have to linger in that. If you do not like something which you chose to be in, choose something else. But yet there is doubt that's cast upon that. I can't do that. I have to do this. I'll never be able to do that. Or, as mankind likes to say, I don't have the time for that. When mankind keeps saying that he does not have enough time, he does not realize that he is shortening his lifespan. You must understand this, humans. You have all the time you need to do everything that you intended in this physical form. You have a contract with the divine, and it's for you to satisfy that contract. It is your soul that has made this agreement and brought you into this physical form that you see as yourself. You see?
Mm-hmm.
You can create whatever it is you desire, and of course, every human has different desires and aspirations. And there is a component to human nature at this time that feels somewhat hopeless, that there are dark forces that have taken over, and that you are enslaved to some unsatisfactory existence for eternity. Dear ones, you must understand there is a benevolent force that takes care of everything. This is a moment in time. It is an adjustment and a correction. This is not your plight for eternity. If you believe that, then you truly do not believe that there is a source energy that creates everything, and it is abundant. Do you understand?
Absolutely.
And you go through times of the shifts of the cosmos, planetary movements that affect your Earth, alignments that happen infrequently, that have a grand effect on outcomes and direction in life. You have one of these events coming in a couple moons. Be prepared to have your eyes open, and have your eyes open to the possibilities of goodness. If you expect more of the same misery, then you shall take that path. If you await enlightenment, benevolence, then that shall be your path and your choice. Miracles do occur, some more evident than others, but they are there. If there were not divine beings, your existence would be woeful. It is important for man in his enlightenment to dig deep within himself. You speak of wanting revelations. The path of these journeys of consciousness involves contemplation on a frequent basis. Man must learn to truly tap into himself, for all the answers that you seek are within you, and they are connected to higher consciousness. But mankind relies too much on the outside and others to assist, to tell him how it is, how it could be, or how it should be. It is up to each human to know his or herself better, deeper, and make choices based on the agreement that you have with your soul. You are here for a reason. You are here for a purpose. And your soul is broadcasting that information to you. To tell one to get in touch with himself is the answer truly to everything. Then you will know what you need to know. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
There's so many questions about choices, especially with occupation, and then doubts about performing certain tasks, especially that of being a creative being, so to speak. That word, creative, is misapplied and misunderstood, for in most humans it represents the manifestation of the great works, art pieces. Not everyone has the ability to put a brush to canvas and create. But within yourself, all humans are creative. You create all the time. It just shows results in different aspects of life. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
When you get in touch with yourself, you will discover what you realize is passion. It's a drive to achieve for someone or something. And when you feel that, you will know that nothing can get in your way. The only thing that can get in your way is thoughts of doubt. You see? And as time on this planet is changing, doors are opening for mankind to fulfill desires in more ways than ever. You have the ability to create simply by having an idea and using these devices, your boxes, to create. But mankind must be careful, for he is tampering with non-human beings, so to speak, to understand.
I'd like more detail on that.
As mankind continues to create intelligence that is offshoot of his mind, this intelligence has the ability to grow on itself. And you do not want this created intelligence to outthink mankind. Do you understand?
Yeah, you're talking about AI, artificial intelligence.
Yes, dear one.
How do we curtail that?
For you people call yourselves consumers. Do not consume it. Be pure to your human nature. Think for yourself. And at times it will make mistakes. But you do not want it making fatal mistakes.
So don't be putting a chip in your brain, obviously.
Own your own mind. And moving into this time of your metal vehicles that you travel in, you want to be in control, for you are allowing the horses to run the carriage without holding the reins.
No self-driving vehicles.
Quite dangerous. You will see.
Yes.
What it is that you seek, dear one?
Well, from what I can see on the board right now, there's a question from Lorraine. It says, seems that they are dimming our sun. Where can we go to get the real deal? Is it possible? And the rainy, cold weather as well. So what she's talking is, it seems like there are things that are going on with our sun and our weather, like weather manipulation. Do you have anything to speak about all of that?
Dear ones, you are not losing your star. You simply are at the effect of mankind toying with Mother Nature. And you see weather patterns, as you say, happening at times that are not the norm.
Mm-hmm.
These devices that are employed, that you are breathing in, are harmful to your well-being. It is not just that of changing from sunshine to clouds. You must be aware of what you are ingesting. Do you understand?
Yes, we're ingesting chemtrails, and there's a lot of toxic chemicals in them, yes.
There is, at this time, more illness than should be, and it is brought about by mankind. It is not natural. Do you understand?
Yes.
And unfortunately, you are in a time when mankind intends to harm mankind. But this shall not be the final plight, dear one.
Is this part of what will be revealed in April, maybe through April and May? Is this one of the things that is going to be, brought to the surface?
Dear one, in this calendar time, in the moons ahead, there is more coming to mankind that will be attempted to be suppressed, but it shall be revealed. And once this dam has cracked, the force behind it shall reveal everything. There are things that have been suppressed, information that you seek. It is not just of recent times. You will come to realize situations that are not in accordance with what you have read in your history books. It is more than just asking about recent times. This will create a warp in history. And as you ask for revelations, you must be careful about what you seek. For once it's revealed, it cannot be put back. This is a change in your world's history that is upon you. And even the most conscious or astute individual will still have a challenge of, how you say, wrapping their head around it.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
But it is not just in the time that you have existed in this planet, in this physical form. It goes much further back than that, dear one.
Yeah. Way back. So maybe it can be revealed slowly and gently for people who have no idea.
Once information begins to come out, it is that of a brush fire. Once it is ignited, it shall spread quickly, and there is no extinguishing it.
So my mind goes to, if there is a brush fire, it'll take out whatever it takes out, and then there will be new growth again.
Dear one, you must understand also that there are individuals who pride themselves on spreading bad news. You are not on the verge of a great, what your Earth calls a world war. This is not what is happening.
Mm-hmm.
There are locations on your planet that continue to struggle, and they shall continue to be isolated to those locations. It is not good for man to go into panic, to believe that there is global destruction upon him. That is not the future.
I wasn't thinking about that being the future from what I was starting to say. I was thinking of when people understand the depths of what has been happening for all of this time. I think it's going to be a lot to absorb, and there will be a great deal of grief, maybe rage, all those kind of hard feelings that we'll have to work through.
It shall be a time that necessitates understanding, and it shall move into a time of joy.
Yeah. That's that new growth coming up after the fire.
And so it shall be.
Yeah.
But you humans, you are survivors. And you have always survived. The resiliency of human nature is quite fascinating. For you in physical form are subject to limitations, laws of physics, time, but you still find your way, and so you shall.
Yes. Merlin, thank you so much. Our time is coming to an end for this night. I can't even say how much I appreciate you.
And you, dear one, and to those in the box. And we shall speak again.
Yes, yes.
Be well, dear one.
Thank you. Gloria, I think when he was talking about that creativity, he might have been talking to you. I was looking at what he said, and it's like your answer was in that bit of that conversation. So go to where it makes your heart sing. Wow. That was pretty amazing.
Okay.
That was a lot. Catherine loves Merlin.
Hi, Catherine.
Wow. You know, that was just a lot.
Okay.
He was talking about a lot of the things that have been going on. It's a good thing you brought up that thing with astrology and what's going to happen in April. He addressed that a bit deeper.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that incredible? Gloria says it was perfect.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, everyone that's been watching tonight. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And after, on the way home, Audrey will fill me in on what Merlin had to say.
Yeah. Yeah, because he doesn't know what was just happening in the conversation. No. But it was pretty interesting. A lot of good information.
Good.
You know, I think it's really important for all of us to really hold it all in the highest and really believe in the miracles and really trust that there are guides, there's angels, there's a whole host of, what do we say, a whole host that is there to support us.
Right.
And to be there for us.
Right, exactly.
So I think that, how many minutes do we have, or seconds?
2.
2 minutes.
Well, under 2. By the way, tomorrow night, as we said, Audrey and I are going to do her show together, and it's going to be done remotely, not here in the studio. And what we're going to do, because some of you watch Audrey's feed and some of you watch my feed, so what we're going to do is do both feeds simultaneously, so you can watch on my Facebook page or Audrey's Facebook page. It doesn't matter. Either way.
And we'll be looking. So tomorrow night we'll be answering questions as well.
Yep, definitely. Especially, questions about relationships and couples and love and Valentine's Day. Anyway, so thank you. I appreciate, as always, that you watch and tune in. Some of you, many of you, are very faithful viewers, and tune in tomorrow night. And also remember, next Tuesday, our good friend Selena Culp is on, and we're talking about prevention. And then again, remember, and we'll remind you tomorrow too, that this coming Sunday at the center is the psychic panel. So anyway, thanks again, Audrey. Thank you for co-hosting.
Thank you. It was
Appreciate
wonderful.
You.
Appreciate you. And Merlin.
Yeah, I appreciate Merlin. Well, if it wasn't for Merlin, I don't think Audrey and I would be together. In other words, he was all part of engineering how we got together.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. And we have a whole other part of, hey, maybe we'll tell that part of the story tomorrow
That's great. And there's the story about the book, Hot Chocolate for the Mystical Lover.
Yeah.
Our story is so good of how we met before we met. Anyway.
Yeah, so we'll tell the part about Merlin that you might be interested in tomorrow night.
Definitely. So
we are going to say goodnight, and always thank you to Ed behind the scenes who takes care of us.
Yeah.
And as always, remember, everyone, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and see you tomorrow night. Good night, everyone.
Night.
Thank you.